What up though, it's your girl Coco and we are back with another video. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. I'm a 24-year-old mom to one little baby boy, and I am on my journey of homemaking, homesteading, gardening, canning, all the things, and prepping. Yeah, I think all that kind of goes together. Basically that general line. We also do some shopping. We do some vlogs around here, but mainly we're doing homemaking and a lot of prepping videos and just chit-chatting with you guys and getting prepared for things. So this video is going to consist of preserving food, different types of preserving food, and basically what are my plans for regarding preserving, because I do have a garden growing here that I just started about 6 months ago. You can see some of my videos on that journey, but we just had a big freeze and I think I lost a lot of my plants, but I haven't gone and checked, so we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed and pray and hope everything's going well. Yeah, with that, and keep a little like notebook to kind of keep me on task because I got ADHD. Okay. So we've already talked about why you should prep or give it some thought, or do some things regarding into being prepared, whether that's a bug out bag, buying extra groceries, or getting a new skill set learned, or whatever the case may be. I'll just kind of touch on some of them. If you want a more in-depth video, I'll have a link up here and it'll be in the description below. And at the end of this video, it will be a patio homestead playlist at the end, so feel free to check that out. And we have tons of videos regarding cooking, gardening, preparedness, doomsday prepping, zombie apocalypse, whatever you're looking for type deal. But these are just some of the reasons that I had like written down from my last video, was in case of unemployment, you know what I mean. 2022 showed us a lot and humbled us a lot, and here in Texas we had that big freeze, so we were all very humbled and educated and put through the test with something that was on nobody's mind, except for those people who were prepared. And yeah, so unemployment, financial hardship, natural disaster, inflation, okay, like we're seeing here. I mean, it's not going down anytime soon. Inventory shortages. So back in 2020, no one could have formula. I had a fresh new baby. No one could find diapers. Formula was a big thing, and it was still going on until 2022. So I'm just now seeing the stores getting really stocked back up on all of it. Pandemics like we had, economic downturn, recession, medical emergencies. Say somebody in your family gets sick and he's the main provider, or you're the head of your household, you get sick and y'all have all these children to tend for. Yeah, at least y'all needed some food, you know what I mean? So having some things set in place so you guys can at least have some food and not have to spend your bill money on food, and you have to realize if you're gonna pay a light bill or feed your family. Civil unrest, illness or death, saving money, and power outages. So these are just some reasons why I prep, or why I think you should. And yeah, that's just that. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're going to talk about long-term food storage and preservation. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. A main, or like a really popular way, is canning, that I see a lot of people do, but for beginners like me, it could be a little intimidating. I'm a little bit intimidated. I'm pretty of a just throw me in the water and I'll swim type of gal, but also canning supplies are really on shortage right now, from what I'm hearing and seeing. And yeah, so that's a little concerning, but there is some other ways other than canning that you can do, and we'll talk about the pros and cons of some of them, and in some next videos that you'll see upcoming, I'll be doing some of these things here. So you have vacuum sealing, freezing, salting, which is kind of like dry curing, and canning, which is what we just talked about, Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, freeze drying, which is all the rage that y'all see right now with all the candies and stuff. They're freeze drying candies and ice cream and all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, fermentation. So these are your things like your pickles, your sauerkrauts, there's a bunch more, your wines, things like that. And dehydrating, okay? And so the difference between these different preservation styles or methods, I should say, is how longevity of it, how easy it is, how much time it takes into, because you have to take your time. I think a lot of people are missing that, is that they got too hooked on the convenience of store-bought items, and they're like, oh, I just don't have time because we're always on the go. And I feel like, you know, instead of watching that 30-minute Netflix show, you could probably make some goldfish for your kids homemade, and you know, they're not have so many preservatives, and maybe your kids won't be bouncing off the walls every 2 seconds. You know, like I'm still trying to get better at making some of my son's snack and figure out what he likes and doesn't like, because it's kind of hard to gauge what your kid likes, and you're gonna be kind of heartbroken if you just spend all this time making a huge batch of it. So I just recommend making a small batch, but that's for another topic. We're gonna talk about the shelf life of these methods. Sorry if you're new here, I'm always recording in the middle of the night, so because that's when the house has calmed down, everyone's asleep, and I can get what I need to get done for you guys. So I'm usually up baking at 2 a.m. and making these videos for you guys. So let's get to it. Vacuum sealing takes 1 to 2 years in a jar or more. So vacuum sealing, from my understanding, is that it's a quick way to do it. You can also vacuum seal it and put it in the freezer, because the freezer is indefinitely, pretty much is how a freezer goes. Is, you know, most people who have stuff in the freezer, they don't really care for the expiration. They just kind of use it up. You know what I mean? And the issue with the freezing, and why a lot of people don't want to rely on the freezers, in case the power goes out, all your food in your freezer is gone. So that's why they kind of lean more towards the canning in the Mylar bags, if you see what I'm saying. So freezing is a big thing. So like, even if you just want to get a deep freezer and just have stuff for your family and just in general, and have life be more easier for you because you have a lot of things on your plate, I think freezing is a great deal to do. Canning is up from 1 year to 5 years, or indefinitely as well, kind of like your canned goods that you would see in the store, like your green beans, your corn, things of such like that. I've even seen people can meat, like you see can of chicken. If you're just a pro like that, you do that, okay? But most of the canning and canned goods stuff lasts for about forever, or 25 years is what I've been seeing. Again, that's just, a lot of it is just hearsay, and you know, a lot of people who've been doing it for a long time, they say it lasts forever. So I think it's just, the more experience you get, the more you can kind of fill out that kind of preservation type. Then you have your Mylar bags, which are just basically a silver bag that is food grade, and it has a big tight Ziploc bag, and they have these oxygen absorbers that you can put in those bags, which just takes the moisture out of the container, so you don't catch any mildew or, you know, getting any bacteria back up in there, and all the oxygen is just lost from it, so there's no building of any bacteria in there. And with that method, you can actually get up to 25 years as well. Same with the freeze drying. Now, the con of freeze drying is that the actual machine itself is a big investment. forward going into it. So it's not for people who are beginners. I mean, if you got the money, do it. But realistically, freeze drying is for those people who really got the money and been saving up for it, and they just want to go ahead and make that investment, take that step in their journey. That lasts also for 25 years or more. Fermentation lasts up to 6 months to a year. And again, that's just something, like, I have pickles in my fridge probably like from like 2 years ago, and I still eat it because it's just like one of those things. It's like, you know, your wine, the longer it sits, the better it gets. So you know, just watching out for those smells and the decoloration of the food and things like that. I'm still learning that. Again, I haven't done any of these type of preservations here yet. Currently putting this video out. This is just from my research that I've done, videos I've watched, books that I've read, and things like that. So I'm not experienced, but I'm here to learn with you, and we can make mistakes together, and we can fail, we can win together. Okay, that's what this is about. Dry curing meat. So that is when you take like a kosher salt, or a really like I think it's like a pink Himalaya, a real gritty salt, and you put it all over your meat. It's kind of like a brine, and that lasts for 2 weeks with no fridge, and then a year with the fridge. So yeah, so that's what I called it salting, but then I learned their actual word is a dry curing, but it's actually dry curing meat. So I think you can only do that with meat, and I've also seen it done with herbs to preserve it. And again, those are things that we'll be doing here once my garden starts producing a little bit more. I have a lot more going into seeds, so hopefully in like the next 3 or 4 months we can really see what my garden is producing, because I'm gonna expand it here in a minute, so you guys will see that as well. And dehydrating. So this lasts up to a year to 8 months. I've even seen people say 5 years to indefinitely. So I'm just going with the lower numbers just to be safe. A year supply of food is usually what you want to start stocking up on for your family, and actually have a working transitioning pantry. So, you know, your older stuff, you know, going by expiration dates and kind of rotating that out is kind of how you want to go with that. So a year to 2 years is awesome to have. And then if there's just something that you just want to have on your shelf, get those pods. Like I have a cream of wheat in there that I bought from, I think it's Farm. I'll show you guys. But that lasts for 25 years, and I just have that just in case in case we don't have anything left, we can go ahead and go to that. And I didn't do my job at stocking up. I know we can get fed for at least 4 months off of that as our family. Okay, so one of those. That's what I have in there. Dehydrating is something that we're gonna really get into, and vacuum sealing is because for Christmas, that's what I got for Christmas, and I'm super excited to use it. And I've been doing a lot of research on the dehydrating, so we'll kind of get into that a little bit more. And once we get into more knowledge of my dehydrating and my vacuum sealing, we'll kind of move on forward into our freezer meals and things as such. I'm really trying to not rely too much on the freezer, just because I do live in Texas, and the slightest inconvenience can take out power. So that's just what I'm choosing to do. And I already have a dehydrator, so it's awesome. You can also use your oven, or you can make one outside, but yeah, that's that. Dehydrating. So with dehydrating, you can do stuff like make your vegetable powder. So all that bloom stuff you see on TikTok, you can make that at home with your own veggies and put it in your own drink. Make your own gut health, and put your own magnesium, your own supplements in there as well. You can make leather, so like your fruit roll-ups and stuff like that, you can make that as well. My son loves fruit roll-ups and stuff like that, so that's gonna be awesome that I can make that now. Chips like platano chips, or banana chips, or carrot chips, whatever, zucchini chips, whatever. I'm just so excited to experiment and jerkies, so like your beef jerkies and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of what the base ground that I've seen that is most popular with the dehydrator. You can do a lot more, like make backpack meals and freeze dry like soups and things like such. But we'll get into that once we get into those kind of videos. I'm just giving you a kind of overview of what these things are in case you may not know, or you want to just, you know, hopefully this is like a stepping stool to go, you do your own research out there and figure out what would be something that would be good for your family or yourself. And some other ways to kind of dehydrate if you don't have a dehydrator. A dehydrator is comparable to the freeze dryer is what I've seen a lot. Is that freeze dryer is a little bit more versatile, but a lot of people seem to be sleep on the dehydrator, and it's also has a lot of benefits to it as well when it comes to preserving food. So you can do it in the sun. I've seen people do when they're living off grid. In your conventional oven, you can do an electric dehydrator, which is something that I have. You can do a microwave oven, but that is gonna be only for like your herbs. So if you go to the store and you see like your oregano, your thyme, your rosemary, you can go ahead, do that, dehydrate it, put it in a jar, store it in there for a lot longer and cook it that way. Or you can powder it down and make it into some seasoning. And then you can do solar drying, and then you can do your air drying, which I've seen a lot of people do. And that is just when like you tie your herbs together, hang it on the string, and then just literally let the moisture come out of it. And then, yeah, I think that's really it and what I want to touch on. I just really want to put awareness out there, and my videos may not be so much in depth because I do have a set, I have to write everything down to keep me together. I do have a set schedule on what I want to talk about in each video, but I want this video to be for the people who haven't even started or thought about it, or don't even have any knowledge about it. And I hope somebody else who's a little bit more experienced, you can follow them and look up any homestead preservation video, look up dehydrating food, look up freeze drying food, look up vacuum sealing food, and just see what kind of pops up and see what you think you can do. I think you can do anything. Maybe not the freeze dryer because that is a lot out of pocket, but a lot of these people who are on here, they're doing it on a budget. They're doing it, you know, with what they have. And I think that that's awesome. I think that's how we should start living again. And it's inspired me. And even though I don't have acres and acres of land, I'm still starting my homestead journey here in my suburban home. And I'm so grateful to have a platform like this and sharing it with you guys. And I hope I'm inspiring you to just follow whatever it is you've been wanting to do. So like whether it's sewing, learning a new skill, but mainly I'm pushing the preservation and the food because that is something that we need. It's a necessity. And I also don't want you to not have food if something happens or you're trapped inside. It sucks. So I just hope this reaches the right people, and I hope everybody's kind in the comments. Maybe we can help each other in the comments. Maybe you can help me, maybe your experience, and you can help me out on what you think I should do as far as dehydrating. But we'll talk about that in our next video, which will probably be me unwrapping my dehydrator and finally putting it to use this weekend. I'm super excited. But my best friend Nikki, if y'all are returning, y'all know, y'all have seen her before. Her baby is coming tomorrow. And so this weekend I'll probably be doing some prepping, some postpartum meals for her and doing that. So there might be a little bit of delay in the videos. I'm not sure yet, but I will be dehydrating here sometime this week. So if it's not the next video, it'll be the next video after that. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you get inspired, okay? But most of all, I love you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.